Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another episode of XJW Broadcasting. Today, we have a real treat for you. The governing body, after reviewing archived footage from security cameras in the old Bethel conference room, have uncovered video of the momentous revealing of the truth about the generation Jesus spoke of in Matthew 24:34. You'll recall that Jesus had just described the Great Tribulation, which immediately precedes Armageddon, and the ushering in of Paradise Earth. Let's turn to our Bibles and read, "Truly, I say to you, that this generation will by no means pass away until all these things happen." Yes, brothers, the meaning of the word generation in that passage is critical. We spent many decades with what turned out to be a very dim understanding of that word. But in the year 2010, the truth was revealed to us, and the concept of the overlapping generation drove home the urgency of our message once again. The original footage is too degraded to show, so members of the governing body are going to recreate this historic occasion for you. In our reenactment, the parts of our late brothers Yarax and Pierce will be played by brothers Sanderson and Cook.
Brothers, we have a problem.
What? Did a Bethel brother take your parking spot again? We should make them all ride bicycles.
No, it's not that. I saw his car out there.
Oh, then I'll bet his Rolex stopped again.
Oh, that's no problem for Splain. He used that to his advantage in his talks. You see, brothers and sisters, we told you time was running out. Excuse me, brothers.
No, seriously, brothers. Our numbers are dropping. And it's all because of that damn generation teaching. The 1914 generation is long dead. That ugly fact keeps staring us right in the face.
Oh, we've fixed that twice already. Once in 95 when we made generation refer to the wicked ones.
Yeah, and then again 2 years ago when we made generation refer to the righteous ones. All anointed for the past 2,000 years.
Talk about going from one extreme to the other. But the diehards still believe us.
All well and good. But you're forgetting something important. We've taken the teeth out of the doctrine. When we believed the heavenly calling ended in 35, we were okay. No more anointed after that year. Then the generation would be 90 years old and counting by now. That's got some bite. Another 10 to 20 years and they'd be gone. That gave Armageddon some urgency.
But we abandoned that doctrine. Now we say that no one knows when the door to the heavenly calling will close.
We had to. All these silly newbies claiming to be anointed and partaking of the emblems each year.
But don't you see? As long as there are new anointed ones, Armageddon keeps getting pushed further and further into the future and becomes less of a concern. Where's the urgency in our message? It's not motivating the sheep to put in their hours or empty their pockets into our coffers anymore. It's not enough.
Oh, I get it. Brother Splain is saying that we need another generation of definition. Wait a second. I think I mean that the other way around.
I see Brother Let's as quick as greased lightning as usual.
But what else could we possibly cook up? Haven't we already exhausted all possibilities?
We need to put our heads together, brothers.
Yeah, like that'll f***ing help. I'll sleep on it.
What? Are you guys still at it? I'm sorry, but I've got to clean up in here. I'm already doing overtime, and this job is overlapping with my waitress job.
Overlapping.
What happened to Sister Subservient? She always cleans up after us.
She told me she was sick of being around you old farts, what with you hitting on her all the time, when you weren't denigrating her for her small female brain, so she hired me to take her place.
Excuse me, but we're discussing something very important here.
And very confidential.
Yeah, my service told me you guys are the head of all the Jehovah's, but my friend Gladys, her sister works with a Jehovah Witness, and she told her that you spread the truth throughout the world.
That's right.
So ain't nothing confidential about that. You want to get the word out, right? So, no need for closed doors. Whatever you gotta say, you can say it in front of Hazel.
Hazel. What a beautiful name. Just like its owner.
Forget it, Pops. You're old enough to be my grandfather.
No. When you were born, I was a young man.
Oh, okay, so you're only old enough to be my father then.
I'm one of your generation. I'm very hip.
I'll bet you are.
Well, if I were your father, I would have generated you, right?
Right, sure. Whatever, old man.
Well then, my generation of you was your generation. So it's one and the same generation.
Sort of sounds like an old Abbott and Costello routine, doesn't it?
The generation. Overlapping. Generation.
Hold the phone. What the did he just say?
Oh, he's talking drunken nonsense like usual. It'll be the DTs next.
Oh, it already smelled like bullshit in here, and now he's gone and puked on the floor. You guys make more of a mess than anyone should have to clean up. I am out of here.
But we can clean up our doctrinal mess. Brother Morris literally stumbled upon the solution. Overlapping generations.
It's the 1914 generation, plus any anointed ones born while that generation was still alive. Just like Loesch and Hazel, one generation is the spiritual father of the next. So it's all one generation.
Isn't it marvelous to witness Jehovah's hand guiding his faithful slave to discover such an important truth? This revelation gave us an entire new generation to work with, even after the 1914 generation had all died. But it still set an urgent limit, no matter how many deluded newbies proclaim themselves to be anointed in the future. Now, Brothers Splain and Morris are going to further clarify our understanding of the generation doctrine.
Now we know some of you dear brothers and sisters have trouble understanding the overlapping generation doctrine. So consider this.
Let's say the sand in this hourglass represents the anointed who witnessed the events of 1914. Jesus said this generation would by no means pass away before Armageddon arrived. We'll call this hourglass A. But as long as there was at least one grain of sand left up here that hadn't fallen asleep in death, then all of the sand in this hourglass would be of the same generation. We'll call this second one hourglass B. So when Jesus said this generation, he evidently meant this generation. Thank you, Brother Morris. You bring up a good point. This third hourglass would not be part of the generation, because all the sand had already run out of the hourglass A.
But C is the same generation as B, because it was turned over while there was still sand in B. If it works between A and B, it has to work between B and C. Same logic.
Okay, so C would be the same generation as B, but not of A.
I learned this in school way back. If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C.
Thanks for pointing that out, Brother Morris. That's an example of trusting in secular education rather than trusting the faithful slave, even if what we say makes no sense to you.
Yeah, if the doctrine makes sense to you, then you're drunker than I am. But if you pretend to believe it, then you're a true Jehovah's Witness.
Thank you, Brothers Splain and Morris, for helping us to understand this important doctrine. And thanks to the entire governing body for their reenactment of that historic occasion. And especially to you, brothers and sisters, for joining us and for continuing to swallow whatever shit we come up with, no matter how ridiculous. This is what keeps our organization going. And just as important, keep putting in long hours spreading our words and dig voluntarily but deeply into your pockets to support us financially, so we can pay off our lawsuits while continuing to serve you with such wholesome spiritual food, always keeping in mind that Armageddon is still just around the corner.